Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Black Ops 6. The funniest thing happened today, and I use that term loosely here. It seems like Call of Duty is actually falling apart right now, but Treyarch broke matchmaking today, and it was pretty funny. So there was a playlist update, which is weird because nothing was even added, but when it happened, we saw actual developer game modes showing up for everybody. This is supposed to be stuff that we're not able to see, but it was in the game regardless. We had Nuketown Infected testing, we had the Phalanx testing, did I pronounce that right? The menu test, the automation rank up, that's their favorite word anymore, automation, Season 1 Mosh Pit non-native, and Gold Rush native. We even had developer modes showing up within zombies, and Treyarch was really quick to try to patch this, but the only way they could do that was shutting down the entire game for everybody for like 30 minutes or maybe even an hour. It really depended on where you were at in the world before your servers actually went live again. It didn't matter if you tried playing multiplayer, zombies, or Warzone, everything was shut down and nobody could play because with those playlists being there, in theory, fans could try to join into them, and I'm not sure. I've looked up, I can't find any footage if people actually got into the test game modes, especially the automation rank up game mode, but regardless, they eventually got it fixed and the servers went back up. But of course, this is the COD community, and there are tons of theories going around that this was done intentionally by an angry developer. Right now, with it being almost Christmas, most studios are on vacation and nothing is really being done until the new year or after the new year, and then today we got a random update that did nothing besides add the developer game modes into the game. So this was either a complete mistake by somebody who doesn't really know what they're doing, maybe they're working from home and they hit the wrong button, or maybe it was done intentionally by somebody who works there to mess with the game because they're unhappy with the state of Black Ops 6, or maybe they're being laid off, or who knows, or maybe just the AI bugged out. I couldn't begin to tell you guys at this point, but what I do know, however, is that when matchmaking started working again, it's been very slow to get into matches. I'm curious if you guys are having the same issue as me, but it took me a while to actually get in and play Black Ops 6, and I wanted to because I wanted to try out free-for-all because I've been reading all over that this new event is a huge flop for players, because while free rewards are great, the event is incredibly slow, it's really grindy, it's tedious, and I'm going to spoil the ending of this match. I do happen to win. I don't know how, because Babylon is such a clusterfuck in free-for-all, like you're constantly in gunfights, but in total, after this whole free-for-all, I only got 2 of those festive Archies that you need to collect for the event to get all the rewards, and then eventually the Barrett 50 cal. Well, do you want to know how many of these you have to collect to get that 50 cal? 280. This means that I would have to play 140 free-for-alls just to get the event finished, though thankfully I don't need to, because just like the playlist update error today, there was a massive bug when this event went live, and it added thousands of these festive Archies to random people's accounts. There's really no rhyme or reason to it. Some people got a bunch of them, other people didn't get any. It's just completely random, and I happen to be one of those people who got the Archies added to their account, which means I already have everything, which essentially takes the enjoyment of the event away from me because I can't really go through the event or grind it or anything. But I'm glad it happened because it looks like this event is just one massive grind that when you read about it online, fans are not enjoying whatsoever. Now, it is possible that free-for-all is not a great place to farm these Archies. Perhaps I wasn't doing a great job of grabbing them when they dropped off of players, but you guys are seeing from the gameplay there really isn't a ton of opportunity for me to grab these Archies with this tiny ass map and how fast everyone is moving thanks to skill-based matchmaking. It's also possible, I suppose, that Warzone is better for farming these, or maybe Stakeout 24/7 now that that's back, maybe zombies, I'm not sure, but one thing that is for sure is this event is super grindy, and that all ties back to that shady old trick by Activision, because when they released this event, the new sniper is the ultimate reward, and it's an iconic sniper, man, the Barrett 50 cal, everyone knows that gun, right? They gave it a different name, but that's what COD does nowadays, and the sniper's free, so fans are happy, but the event is super time consuming and tedious, so of course Activision released a shop bundle alongside the event where you can just buy the Barrett 50 cal for the low price of $18. Now, speaking of those shop bundles, and of course the use of AI here within Black Ops 6, I've been seeing more and more people posting videos about these bundles, and holy hell, I wasn't aware it was this bad. I don't go to the shop, I don't buy things in COD, I never even bought Black Ops 6, I'm still playing off of Game Pass, but this is really bad, and there may actually be some legal repercussions for Activision if this stuff keeps up, because the thing about these COD bundles is a lot of them don't seem to be made by real people, but rather they seem to be made by AI, and then maybe approved by somebody who really just doesn't care about their job whatsoever. It's one of the two. Like, it's either really bad AI or it's carelessness by the folks working on this stuff, because how in the world can you sell people guns that are objectively pay to lose? How does this make any sense? Look at these tracer rounds and these iron sights on some of these guns. They are so obstructive. You literally cannot see what you're doing. Like, they're objectively bad, right? If any human being saw this, they never would have approved it because this is just horrible and they're being sold anyway. And do you guys want to know the kicker on this? Absolutely nowhere in the shop can you preview these horrible iron sights. They have previews for the effects and sometimes the inspect animations, but every one of them is third person only. So you have no idea what the iron sights are going to look like. You just see that teaser right there, you buy the bundle, and then you're screwed. Because the best part about all of this is if you buy a bundle and you see that it's pay to lose, which is mind-blowing to even say, like, you see that your bundle is pay to lose, and if you ask for a refund, Activision support, or rather the AI chatbots that probably run Activision support, are just going to tell you that there's nothing that they can do. What kind of business are they trying to run over there? I do try to look at everything from all angles, so I suppose in their defense, maybe these blueprints were only designed to have those specific attachments on them. The PP9191 is meant to have a sight on it, but if you take the sight off, those stupid purple things get in your way. Maybe they only tested it with a red dot sight, or maybe if you go over to the Gobblegum blueprint that I think's for the M4, maybe they only properly tested it with the iron sights that come with the blueprint. I don't know. I'm wondering, how can you release a product that will absolutely break your gun in a game that is built on player customization and attachments affecting every aspect of your gunplay experience? It's like there's no thought or foresight that went into this stuff at all, and it's almost as if it was created just to look cool regardless of its functionality. And I've got to say that AI absolutely has to have their six-fingered hand in the making of these things, because cool looking can be done by AI. Actual functionality, however, well, that's a bit more nuanced, and that requires an actual person, an actual COD player, somebody who has actually aimed down sights and shot the gun in the game to realize that these blueprints cannot be sold to the public. Like, it takes one time. You press left trigger one time, and that's all it takes to see, oh no, that doesn't work whatsoever. Yet they didn't do that somehow, and they're still selling it to people and not giving them refunds. And it's only a matter of time before more stuff like this gets released and more people start talking about it and it starts getting more attention, just like skill-based matchmaking. And I would like to end off the video here today with this. We all know skill-based matchmaking. We've been talking about it to death here on the channel, and every hardcore fan is well aware of the system and all of its downfalls. The thing about it is, when I talk about something like skill-based matchmaking, people expect me to talk about skill-based matchmaking. You know, it's something I've covered countless times. Like, people know my opinion on it. I try to bring it to light as much as humanly possible. I talk about it all the time, but people just don't really seem to care. Like, there's not going to be any news articles, for example, about NerosCinema talking about skill-based matchmaking. But if Nadeshot talks about it and walks away from Black Ops 6 because he's so tired of all the cheaters in it, well, then suddenly that's a big deal. It's all about the size and scale of your channel and your voice on the internet as to whether or not things actually gain traction. Well, what if it wasn't people like me? What if it wasn't people like Nadeshot? But rather, what if it was five-time All-Star Donovan Mitchell of the NBA talking about skill-based matchmaking within the Call of Duty franchise? That's what happened today, and it's pretty freaking funny. So let's go ahead and check this out here. NBA player Donovan Mitchell says he's been playing a lot of Call of Duty, but struggling with how hard the lobbies are. Quote, "It's been rough. I genuinely try to get better, which makes me even more upset. I'm still terrible. I reached out to Call of Duty like, hey, put me in the trash lobbies. That's where I belong. We'll see what happens." And stuff like this is relatively common now. It's a sign that I'm actually getting kind of old now, because I remember growing up, I watched the NFL all the time. That was my favorite sport. Football still is. And growing up, I'm like, oh, those are like real adults over there. Those are like real men out there, you know, because they seemed older and they're just so big and athletic and whatever. Well, now I'm older than pretty much most of the NFL stars out there. I'm older than most of the NBA stars and things like that. So this newer generation of athletes, these NBA players, NFL, NHL, MLB, all of it, right? A lot of them are young guys. Therefore, they grew up playing video games. Therefore, a lot of them play COD and Fortnite and all that stuff. So they're aware of skill-based matchmaking themselves. I would love to see a narrative where sports athletes and like people with these really big names, because whenever they say anything, it's headline news. It would be so fantastic if more of these athletes were to start speaking out against skill-based matchmaking within the COD franchise and games in general. How incredible would it be if mainstream news are talking about the absolute manipulation that is the matchmaking system here within the Call of Duty franchise, and Activision and Microsoft are getting blasted left and right from everybody? That would just be so freaking incredible. I don't see it happening anytime soon, but it was really cool to see Donovan Mitchell talking about skill-based matchmaking, and it would be awesome if more athletes and more notable people out there started to do the same thing. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this video here today. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Leave your thoughts and feedback down there in the comments. Thank you all so much for listening, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.